guys, ladies and gays, we are back with the Lesbian Lounge, and you only get one lesbian today.
Dang.
No Holly, but we are with somebody that she does know, which is super exciting, and I wanted to bring on somebody that has made a huge impact on my life, and I don't think you realize it, because you do so much, but somebody that is an ally, and I wanted to recognize this event that is life-changing for me as far as with business, and when I completely flipped my life around from leaving teaching to now doing what I love and helping people of the community, my community, as well as allies, which I do have some stylists of yours.
Yes.
Which is awesome. But we are going to talk about how we met, how it came across, and what Unfiltered is all about, because if you have not signed up, you absolutely need to.
Absolutely.
Or even next year, because this is a powerful, powerful event that Angie has created, and we need to recognize that here.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
So let's just take it back. I think this was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Wow.
And that's when Holly had started business.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Holly didn't really know much about Parlor North, but she knew about, like, Whitney, and great relationship there.
Mm-hmm.
But Holly had always been, like, you know, scared, timid to break off.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally she did. And I think it was, like, her first month or maybe. And I was back there, of course, being protein Kaz. And, you know, heating up my food, and you crossed paths because you were mixing color or doing
or cleaning
towels.
or something. Yeah, something.
One of the hairstylist things that you guys do. And you had asked what I do. And that conversation really took us to a lot of things to where we are today of working together, me being a part of Intentional Hairdresser. And it's crazy how one conversation that was so small has blown up.
Yeah.
And I love that. And one thing that I want to make note of for people in my community, that it is possible to have allies support you. I think it's really hard to find that when you've had people constantly tell you you're not good enough, you don't belong. But Angie believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Because you said that I was like kind of, didn't seem confident, but I was. It was like kind of like teeter-tottering.
Yeah, I think that I love you very much. Okay. I think that you were trying to give off, I'm enough, but you didn't believe it yet.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that I'm going to get emotional. It's going to happen.
I know. We love the vulnerability.
I think that you knew that there was something inside you, or that you wanted other people to see their worth, but you didn't believe it yet.
Yeah, no, that is spot on, but also I was still teaching, and you know, you're battling people still saying you're not good enough, people looking up at my social media, and I'm no longer teaching, so I feel like I'm not. As I'm trying to build this brand that has now blossomed, and that's where Unfiltered has really created this for me, which, amazing, an event that is not for gay people, but it is, because I was there, and
it's for all people.
Yes, and that's where we need to make it clear for people.
Absolutely. I think that for me, Unfiltered happened totally by accident. We were supposed to go to California for a family vacation. COVID happened, and everything was shut down. We were supposed to stay right outside of Chinatown. Chinatown shut down. So we were like, okay, we're going to go ahead and do the road trip anyway, but we're going to stop in Colorado.
Yes. That's amazing. In Colorado. We will get there, guys. Don't worry. We'll tell you all about it. So hang tight. You're probably sitting at the edge of your seats right now. But, you know, we talk about it, and, you know, you kind of opened up a lot of doors for me where I always hated seeing Holly struggle in the aspect of, like, never taking care of herself. And, you know, I got to be a wife, not a coach with her. And I think I do a better job of that now, of working with stylists, but also hearing from her and other women that this isn't about fitness. This isn't about eating more perfect meals and doing all the things that society says that we need to do. It's simply loving ourselves on a deeper level and knowing your worth. And like you said, I didn't really believe that I was good enough. But the more and more I was around you, you gave me an opportunity with 2 salons, actually. And we were at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And you were just like, hey, would you be interested in this? And what was your take on, you know, we had 2 different salons, two different spaces of women, very different groups, but also they just had a lot of funny stuff, and I'm just like, I'm doing something that I love, and educating still.
Yeah, I think that in inviting you to do that, what I really wanted from one of the salons was I wanted them to feel you. I wanted them to be able to embody what you were doing, like you had a business goal and you were going after it, no matter what. Like, no one's holding me back.
Right.
And that's what I wanted that particular salon to know and feel and see. But the second salon, I know that they were in more alignment with you.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. Sometimes when it comes to fitness and food and all that stuff, we have to be more aligned. We can talk about it and say, I want to be healthier, but most people don't know what that actually means.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, I want to be healthier. Okay, well, let's dig a little bit deeper. And now that we have done that over the last year and a half since Unfiltered, I've done some crazy courses where it's not just food, it's not just workouts. I need you to understand you. And those events that I did with you at Lake of the Ozarks, I was teaching them about food. Protein CAS, came from a client.
And
but
workouts.
Also, and workouts. Let's not forget that one of the groups, the sandals, you know what salon you are.
We love you.
We will not name you. But
I was so scared that stylist was going to fall.
I was like, oh God, I will be very gentle. But also, we're not trying
She
to
wasn't
be
gentle,
crazy.
guys. She was not gentle. No, you weren't.
It was great. It was great. But I also, when I worked with both of the salons, I was looking at which ones I would cross paths with. And I actually have crossed paths with one of them. And she's one of my clients, and she's had huge success. And I told her, I was like, she will be a client one day.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. And, over time, that's where we are today. She's still with me.
That's so funny because that same person, we're not naming names either. When I met her, I was like, the first thing I said to one of my daughters was, is she going to call us? Do you think she'll call us?
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
I hope she calls us.
I love her drive, her dedication to what she does. She is very confident in who she is now, and that was one of the things she said on our last call, this past 2 weeks ago. I'm more aligned with myself. And it's because everything I've done, with what she does with you, but also me, and that's what goes down to this
Partnership.
program. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Intentional Hairdresser, Let's Grow coming together, and just making something that really resonates with a lot of women.
Yeah.
You don't have to be gay, you don't have to be a hairstylist, you just need to be a person that wants to be a better person.
You have to be a nice person. And
Yes.
open, right?
Yes.
We don't do negative Nancy's here. We don't do ugliness at all.
No. Which I think that is one thing I want to touch point on there. Would you say salons are pretty nasty?
I would say I love you guys very much. I've been in the salon industry 26 years next month, okay? So I think that when I started, it was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. In fact, the salon that I worked at starting out was like, you can't talk to so-and-so because they work at salon A.
Yeah.
We're not going to this class because salon B is putting it on.
Right, and I'm
That's
like, why
so
can't we
gross.
grow? Why
That's
can't we
so
grow
gross.
together?
Well, and here is what the mindset was. If we go to a class, that means we don't know that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What?
But also, there's so many heads of hair. And there's so many
Say
things to niche down.
Mm-hmm.
You, Winston Barber, he's a great stylist.
Yeah.
Barber. I want to make sure I don't say it wrong. But he does my hair, and he niched down so much where when you get really good at it, there's other people who are like, I can't top that.
I can't top that.
You can't. And when stylists get catty and get mad about a client going somewhere else, it's like, you just weren't good at that. Find what you're good at.
Well, here's the other thing. I think that it's not always talent based, right?
Okay.
So I think that a lot of stylists are really great at technique.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get in our heads and we don't talk while we're creating,
yes.
and sometimes that can turn a guest off. They're like, I want to have a conversation. I'm paying XYZ for
Pampered.
this time. While other clients are like, can they shut up and just cut my hair? You know?
Yeah.
So it really depends on, I think, the conversations and the technique. It goes all together.
Yeah, and I will toot my wife's horn because I love what she does. The way that she talks to people and she's still able to do hair, Right. She's really good at all the giggling. You're great, babe. And I think that's why clients have been with her for years.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not a skill you can teach.
Absolutely. It just comes to you, right? One thing that I love, because we work in the same salon, is that when her people leave, they are so much lighter.
Yeah.
Their presence is so much lighter. Their eyes are open wider. They're standing taller. They give her hugs. Not just oh my gosh, thank you.
Right.
It's a embodied.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so beautiful what she's created. So.
She is the light in the relationship. I always talk about that, but she's Yeah, she definitely does a very good job of that.
Yeah.
Don't stop doing it, babe.
Yes, girl.
The questions that I want to ask you when we look at when we were talking about the lake stuff. So we have the 2 salons. What made you want to create those events where it was like getting them away out of the salon?
I love that question. I like the Lake of the Ozarks. I'm kind of like, I'm not a river rat. I'm in recovery for that, you know, but for real. So my family, we have a lot of fun at the lake. We love to kayak and camp and all the things, but I think that it's important to get out of your area.
Yes.
Out of your house, out of your classroom, out of your cubicle. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. You have to get out. You have to step away because.
Let's see if you're a person. Let's see if you're fun.
Well, and also, what do I like?
Yeah.
What don't I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the purpose of having the salons come from their areas is to see, because, okay, let me just break it down. So the youngest stylist inside the salon will always be the youngest stylist.
Yeah.
She won't know anything. She's this, she's that, whatever. The oldest stylist will always be the crabby one. She's overworked, underpaid, blah, blah, blah. But when you pull them into another area where they're not comfortable, they get to be whoever they want to be. They get to show up somebody else. So at that event...
And they can probably show some strengths in some areas that they wouldn't be able to in a salon when there's somebody that's a veteran. Absolutely.
And so that's why at that event, there was nothing hair related. Remember, there was nothing. Mm-hmm. So we had some team building exercises that were crazy. They were kind of like Survivor meets Girl Scouts. Mm-hmm. And so it was really fun to see them do their own thing and kind of shine in different ways. And they had to also vote in like a team captain.
Yes.
That wasn't the salon owner. And that was really helpful to see, oh, she has a voice.
Yeah, and I think that's really hard when I've been around salons, with Holly going to different places, and who your boss is and how everybody either
retreats,
like, oh, I'm not speaking, or you do have a voice and you get to be yourself because, I mean, we all need to talk about what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
You're a team regardless of being your own.
Absolutely.
It's making that salon run smoothly, and that's having conversations and team building, I think, is amazing.
Agreed. I also think that sometimes we don't know what our power is because no one ever asked us.
Yeah.
And so in those situations, we're able to say, hey, youngest stylist, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? Right. How do you think this event went? How do you think that so-and-so did in the relay? What could they have done better? Mm-hmm. And then having them do it again after they talked about it was really powerful because you saw the growth in it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to add to that is you mentioned we've never been able to have a voice. But we've all been taught to be compliant.
Amen.
Yes, yes, yes. And so now when you are given this opportunity, like, okay, if I speak, am I going to get in trouble?
Yes.
Like, okay, you're allowed to speak. You're grown.
Mm-hmm. And I think one thing that I don't like about that is that people will say, well, why didn't you say no?
Yeah.
No one ever fucking told me I could say no. That wasn't an option, right?
Yes.
No.
I think that's really hard. But you talk about power, and that's one of the things that we teach in my coaching is like, I need you to reclaim your power and believe that you can do this. Mm-hmm. Have a voice, but also set boundaries.
Yes,
boundaries
absolutely.
are power.
One thing that I think is really powerful, and it sounds super silly, but let me just say this. We have to go back to our toddler days where we asked 100 yeses or 100 whys. We said no when we didn't want to do something. No, I don't want to wear pink shoes today. No, I don't want my hair done today. No, I don't want to take a bath. No, I don't want this. You know?
The pushback.
All the pushbacks, right? And then what happened when we were 4 and 5 and 6? We just sat here like this.
Yeah, and I really don't. I can't speak for everybody else, but I think it's your home. If it's a safe space or not. And my space, depending on the home, was not always welcoming to them.
Yeah.
And again, that goes to parenting, and hopefully, you've been able to teach that with your kiddos.
Ugh.
But whole nother world when we take a moment and realize that it's childhood stuff.
Absolutely. And I shared a lot in Colorado about that, and I had never shared before except with 3 people, and then I'm on the mountaintop sharing it with everybody, and it was really empowering to take it back, even though I created this space for other people to be able to do it, I didn't know that I needed it as much.
Yeah, and I don't think we ever do until that moment happens.
Yeah, when it happened, the floodgates came, right?
Yes.
But you spoke about my kids. I have the best kids in the world, and they saved my life for real.
Yeah.
So
There's some great kiddos. I've only met one so many times now, but yes, you do have some kids that really do support you.
They're freaking awesome. So,
Yes.
okay, let me cry a little bit. So,
Get it all out there.
let's go.
I don't
Okay.
have any napkins
It's
or
okay.
anything, but just gonna have to throw them off.
Nope,
to
we
the
let
side.
them fall because they deserve to be here. So,
Right. When we look at the event, and bringing me into this, the protein cows, taking care of you, do you think stylists do a good job of that? Of like practicing self-care from a standpoint of like food and taking breaks?
I think that's a wonderful question, Kaz. I think that we as hairdressers or salon professionals, we take great pride in the way we look.
Mhm.
So our hair, nails, makeup, things like that. Our skincare routine is top notch. But when it comes to what we put into our bodies, I don't think so. I think what we put on our bodies as hairdressers or salon professionals, top tier.
Yeah, and you actually had to, because Holly mentioned this, and correct me if I'm wrong, for your days,
Yeah.
being in school, you were expected to show up like you were
Done.
ready. Yes.
Yeah. So
Because if not, why would someone come to you?
Amen. Okay, so I still believe that. Let me say that. I believe that as a hairdresser or salon professional, you attract what you look like.
Mhm.
And so if you want to do only platinum card blondes, you better have platinum card hair, right?
Yeah.
Even though you're not doing your own platinum card, makes no sense. I know this, but here
But
it
my
is.
wife does do her own hair.
Exactly.
I'm like, what do you
Exactly.
do? Go get pampered.
And I did until Holly did my hair the other day because I took a number 2 to it. But no joke. So in cosmetology school, we had our time clock right outside our instructor's door. And when I say door, it was actually a window. It's like a, 5x5
Mhm.
glass window she could see. And if she saw you without your hair and makeup done, go home.
Ooh. So you did get sent home.
You did get sent home.
I
Yeah.
think that just should be a thing in education regardless. If you want to fuck around and find out, you
Fuck
go.
around and find out.
At home.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
I love that. And I do think that is super important. I can never go to work looking like I'm going out every time,
Absolutely.
but it is important in your industry.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
When we look back to who you are today versus back then, do you think that you take good care of yourself from self-care aspect of like going to the gym, getting good food, like now that we have worked together and you look back past, do you think anything has changed?
I think a lot of things have changed. I think
Okay.
that back then I was the person who, if my kiddo, because I have a baby really young, if she was at her grandparents' house, I would work my butt off. Literally, I worked 2 jobs, went to school, and then I'd go out. And then, so I was hungover or drunk.
Yeah.
The whole week she's gone. And then the next week I'm like, Mom.
Yeah.
And so, no, I did not take care of myself at all. I didn't even drink water.
Oh wow. Do we think it's almost like I don't want to have to deal with anything, and so I want to mask it with booze of like, I'm stressed out on this, but this is going to help me feel good in that moment.
Yeah, I think that I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know what I was hiding from.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that as a hairdresser, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We went out to be seen so other people would come to us, right?
Yes.
And so that's what I was doing. That's what I thought I was doing.
Right.
But what I was really doing was masking so much hurt, so much pain, so much drama. And that's what all my friends were doing. I grew up in a smaller Iowa town that,
Mm-hmm.
what did we have to do? Like, our anchor store in the mall was Walmart. You know
Oh
what
my
I mean?
God,
So it's
that's
like,
wild.
so I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew it was harmful.
And that first thing that we talk about is awareness. Most people are not aware of anything. They think the solution is workouts, food,
Yeah.
and again, society. But you also like take it like another layer for women. Women are expected, in order to be skinny, you need to consume less and do more. And so that's what we think it is. It's like, no, actually we need to become aware. And you just said you weren't aware of the things
Yeah.
until you actually take a step back and are like, all right, that's actually holding me back.
Absolutely.
So looking at it from that lens, do we think that this hurt your ability to perform at some times?
So I think that in my brain,
Okay.
in my mind, as a woman, as a young mom, I left the hospital at 123 pounds delivering my child.
Okay.
I'm skinny, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's 123 pounds at 4'11". Listen, that's tiny.
Mhm.
But I thought I was so fat. And it was my mind saying,
Mhm.
okay, you have curves and you have breasts, you're fat.
Yeah.
But I also saw the scale and I was like, I know I'm not fat. So
Yeah.
there wasn't that awareness because I was looking at the scale so much.
Right.
but I also wasn't fueling myself. You know, now I'm not 123 pounds and I feel so much better.
It's because you love yourself and you're aware of who you are too.
Absolutely. I think that now I am drinking water. I am, you know, taking in the protein. I am working out, but I'm also sleeping.
Yeah.
Whereas
so
before
good.
I was not sleeping.
Yeah, that is one that I think that we think go, 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 go. And you mentioned you're a mom. Like, you know, I have clients that are moms and that's hard. That is really hard. I don't know what it's like, but I, you know, had a mom and I've seen that, and that lifestyle is not easy. And so when you're expected to do all these things, we neglect ourselves, and that's why we become disconnected.
Absolutely. And I think that we think that it's okay because I'm doing for everyone else is up here.
You think you're productive.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, I'm not productive.
I
don't really like this extra weight that now I'm carrying after taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
How did I get this far?
Mm-hmm. And actually, the weight didn't come until years later.
Mm-hmm.
I think that at my highest point right now I'm at my highest point, and I feel like my energy is so much better now.
Right.
But right now I am working out more regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stretching. I can do a blow dry all day long and not be like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas before I was like, it was bone on bone.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and you know, when you guys are blow drying, and I use this as Holly as an example, when you're doing this same motion constantly, you have those rounded shoulders, and so it does cause a lot of that pain over time. And so stylists, the opposite, we need to do some band pulls or work on seated cable pulls, those things that are going to help correct those muscles. Because if you let it continue to keep going, it only gets worse.
absolutely. And your career is stunted.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're like a seasoned stylist, you've been in the game for 15, 20, 25, 30 years, what else are you going to do?
Right, and you don't know anything else.
You know nothing
like,
else.
would you want to go work a corporate job?
Hell to the no. Like a no. I only have 4 hours a day in me this month.
That's good.
And that's all I want, and that is because we've set intentions with our guests and expectations and policies and things like that. So
yeah, that's really good. And that's hard to do when you have been trained in school, like more people in the chair to make money.
Absolutely.
It's like, no, we can set boundaries and you're your own business.
Absolutely, yeah. Love that.
When it comes to stylist world, do you think that there is burnout? And if there is burnout, why do you think that?
I do believe there is burnout, but I think that it's also kind of like a trendy word right now. People are like, I'm so burnt out. Well, what are you burnt out from?
Right.
Is it you, or is it what you allow to happen, or is it your actual circumstances?
Yeah, that's so good, because I saw one of your stylists that we both work with, and I'm like, burnout, that's a real thing, but like, why are we? Are we exhausted because we've poured into everybody and not set boundaries?
Absolutely.
Are we burnt out because we keep saying yes to everything when you can turn down 1 or 2 clients that are toxic?
Absolutely. I think firing them in 2020 when I fired 12 clients, it was the scariest, most liberating thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It was so great to actually let them go. But then when I let those 12 people go, I was able to get 20 more people that fill my cup.
Yes, love that.
It was wonderful.
It's more rewarding.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your own style of what rewarding looks like, but that's
the other thing, is that we have to stop pretending like we're everybody else, because we're not.
No, absolutely not. When we look at stylists, what would be your piece of advice, or even for you, like filling your cup? My wife and I talk about filling our cup, and hers is filling her literal cup. But for me, my cup is filled when I see clients like just absolutely crushing it and being able to see what they're capable of when they haven't seen it for years.
Yes. I think that I get tingly and goosebumps and all the things, and I start crying because I haven't allowed myself to cry before. And I think that when I do that, that fills my cup. Yeah. I'm like, wow, there's an emotion inside me. Oh my gosh, what is this? Because it was always beyond.
Yeah.
When I work with stylists, it's so great. It's really rewarding to see them show up as they pretend to be.
Yeah, and they're shining when they're doing the things that they didn't think they were capable of.
Absolutely.
And I can think a couple that you've had, and I'm like, that right there, this little violin that everybody doing or whatever it is now these days.
Yeah.
But
one of the biggest cup, the most rewarding is seeing my kids do well. Knowing that I did it.
Yeah.
And they still like me.
Yes.
You know, I think that, well, I don't know about that, but I think
maybe at certain times.
Yeah, exactly. In the beginning, you have this idea of what a parent looks like and for most of us it looks so different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for some of us, we all have to be buttoned up and we have to have our hair cut a certain way and we have to look a certain way. But for me, as a person of color and having a child at 15, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want anyone to say I'm a bad mom.
Yeah.
So I was so strict with her that I was afraid I was going to lose her, you know?
And that's everybody's opinion on how you do parenting. I'm sorry, but there is some other kids out there that I'm like,
you could be 50 and have a kid and be a bad parent.
Right.
Right.
Like, what were you doing? Why did you have, well, you're a bad parent too when you have one at 20, but you shouldn't do that at 20 regardless. But still.
I feel like having her at 15 was, obviously it wasn't something that was planned, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. She really changed my life and saved my life. Mm-hmm. And she's still saving my life. Man, I mean, we had conversations last week that I was just like, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Like, how did she get so damn smart?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then my other daughter, she said to me, texted me the other day, and she said, I'm so proud of you.
Love that.
I said, for what, girl? Like, I was just joking with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, you did all of this while raising kids. Who does that?
That's a role model for them.
Yeah.
Like, they see a strong mom and that you did give up a lot of time, and maybe they didn't get their mom when they needed it, but you're giving back in a way that they need now.
Yeah, and I told a young stylist that too, that your kids are not going to remember that you weren't there at bedtime. You are. So you've got to give yourself some grace, because when you're starting out in the industry, you have to work nights. You have to work weekends if you want to build a solid clientele.
I think you need to say that a little bit louder, because our younger generations that are, you know, just starting out, they think that they need to cut out. I'm like, you have to work and hustle.
Yeah.
You want to grow a clientele and be able to make it past, 3 years for you guys?
3 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
You're gonna have
1 year for a lot of people. I've seen a lot of stylists in the last couple of years that have had 2 or 3 calls with me fresh out of school, and they're like, I'm burnt out. No, Susan, you're not burnt out. You just don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And you won't listen.
That right there is key. And you have to be willing to get uncomfortable.
I think you also have to have realistic goals for you. And you have to set them, and you have to stick to them. But you also have to block out the noise. And I think it's similar with your business. Someone saying, why are you going to the gym twice a day? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Don't you think you look good?
Yeah.
Yes, Frank, I think I look great, but this is what I need to continue on this path, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes it takes longer for other people, but again, I think we're in a world of like instant gratification. You know, they see somebody on TikTok or social media, they're like, well, they made it. You can't compare yourself.
And you just saw them in your feed today.
Right.
You don't see the 3 years that it took to get there, or the 15.
Right, and the shitty thing is that when you have some people that are blown up over, you know, whatever, a month or something like that, it's like, well, that's not realistic for everybody, but also you haven't shared your struggles. And so I don't think those people are authentic.
That's not real.
Exactly.
Not real. But I will say to those people, you're really brave for doing that. But I think we also have to show people the struggles, because otherwise they're praying, or they are putting you up on this pedestal that you don't really deserve, because you haven't shown them all of the negative things that you have to go through, or all the sleepless nights, the tear-soaked pillowcase. You know what I mean? Like, I've been through. Absolutely. I mean, I used to not wash my face at night because I wanted to see how much I cried the night before. You know what I mean? Terrible for your face, guys.
Yeah,
but it's a real thing. You know, we masquerade ourselves as being perfect because we think that that's what people want to see, and that's just bullshit.
Yeah, but you know, again, going back to when we said in the beginning, childhood, like we've been taught to do, and we think that that is being productive and then perfect. No, I just need you to be consistent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Remember why you started.
Yes, the why is so important, and we talk about that heavy now since Filter changing me and what I needed to do for my clientele. The why is everything, and just taking time and understanding who you are and what you are capable of. So looking at Intentional Hairdresser, where did this idea come from?
Oh my goodness, it's so funny. I wanted to be a teacher before I went into hair, and I actually was enrolled at Iowa State to go for education. Family housing all mapped out for my daughter and I, and one of my girlfriends said, hey, do you want to go to this open house with me? It's at a beauty school. We get out for the day. My kid was in daycare. I said yes. I'm like, yeah, we get out of school. And I enrolled that day.
Okay.
I was like, fuck education. So I think that's
because you're just sitting there and someone's talking at you the whole time.
Right. Anyway, fast forward, I was in the industry behind the chair for 10 years, and then I auditioned for a global company, got that job, And I loved it. I loved the interaction, the engagement. I loved where it took me.
Yeah.
But it also took me away from my family. Way too much. And so I was like, okay, we can do this differently on my terms. And so it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about how many years again to recap that, the years in the industry before?
26.
26 total. And with this whole idea, like you wanted to teach, was there a gap that you saw that like, okay, if I create this, I can help the upcoming where I felt lost and I don't know what to do?
Yeah, I think that one was the representation. There wasn't representation where I was teaching for this company, right?
Can you classify the representation?
Sure. I don't feel like there were, at the time, people of color on stage, right? Yeah. So there is this one educator. I love him so much, Robert Santana. He is amazing. And he taught me a lot of things about who I was that I didn't know about me. He's like, you know you're bigger than you are.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
What is a stranger telling me?
Right, and I didn't get it until I got it. But I think it also goes to show you that you have a voice outside of you that other people want to hear, but you don't know it because people have like squashed you down so much. And it was before social media was like super big.
Right.
Facebook was a thing, but it was like I was posting as if it was my diary.
Yes, yes.
So
I remember in the beginning when I first started, I mean, you still do that, but I know what you're saying there.
Yeah, I think that it's good to be able to see other people of you that look like you, talk like you, live where you live, and it just wasn't being represented. It was also educators from all over the world, not in Missouri.
Yeah, I really like that because that resonates a lot with me. I'm like, there's nobody of what I do enough of. And you've niched it down to hairstylists, and I don't think it's very common, or I haven't seen a lot of it in what you do in the events like Unfiltered and the other ones that you provide. Like, it's something that is needed. We all want community. And would we say that that is maybe one of the things that hairstylists struggle with, is finding a community or where they necessarily fit?
I think so, because we're always on. We're always on display. We've always got our masks on.
Yeah.
And so how do you find your people if you're not being your authentic self?
Yeah, you almost have to shrink to fit in.
Absolutely, and that sucks. It feels good in the minute when you're at dinner with everybody and you're like, ha, everything's fine, but you go back to your room after an event and you're like, did I connect with anyone?
Yeah.
Did I touch any hearts? Did light bulbs come on? Did I get goosebumps? Did I cry? Those are the things that I want at my events.
I love that. That right there is so good, and I do think that a lot of people crave connection.
Agreed.
And maybe they don't say it, but like COVID is a huge reason why.
Absolutely. I would 100% agree.
Connection is key, and you provide that in being at events that I feel like I'm myself, regardless of me being a hairstylist. I'm not, clearly, but I love being around you guys.
Yeah.
You don't look at me as the
outsider,
lesbian, or the outsider, the one that doesn't.
You're a lesbian?
I couldn't tell with that haircut, like Shane or Joe Jett, but more so Shane. But like, you know, when I come around you guys, you all just treat me as a person. And every time I felt that. Like, there was a little bit of scaredness walking into the Ozarks. And I was like, man, this is gonna be, they're gonna look at me like, why am I gonna listen to this bitch? Because they don't know who I am. But I'm confident in the work that I do. And then when I get around you more and other stylists, I'm like, yeah, I do belong here. I am good at what I do and I believe in myself. I know my worth, but you also have given that to me.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You created that safe space. And I think for Intentional Hairdresser, it is meant to be a safe space. And that's another reason why I think Unfiltered is meant for everybody.
Yeah.
But to make it known for my community as well, you are welcome there.
Absolutely.
Angie is a huge ally.
Down.
Yes, we want more of that to showcase it.
I think we also don't know what we don't know. And so sometimes in any community, right, you're like, there are stereotypes about certain communities, all communities, I would say. And if you don't interact with people, they can't learn, we can't grow, and we can't be a whole community.
Yes.
It's so important for us to understand other people that don't look like us.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think that's taught in homes for some people nowadays.
Absolutely.
But yes, everybody is a human and they should be valued, seen, and heard. That's where growth really happens.
And our feelings are the same. Would you agree? Like, if I feel sad or mad, you probably feel sad and mad about the same thing, but for different reasons.
Yes.
And so coming together as a community, it's not a vent session. Would you agree?
No.
Like, Unfiltered is not about venting, it's about healing.
Yeah, and we will talk about that more, because you're probably sitting there like, am I going to be going to a thing of like therapy? It's not. It's so much more than what you would think, but I think it's Estes Park in general and what comes with it.
Yeah.
Was there a breaking point at any point in time in creating Intentional Hairdresser? Like a hard time, or just, I've had a lot of times in my journey, I feel like when I saw you in the summer and you're like, how's business? And I'm like, I just don't know if I can do this. Like, I think I'm gonna have to get another job, which I did, and then I finally vetoed that because I'm like, I can't be doing multiple things. That's stupid. I can't play with dogs right now. I need to help people. Yeah. Not that I can't help dogs, but I needed to really give to this thing that I know is going to be super impactful, and it is now. It's still growing, and it's growing every day. But for you, is like, did you have any doubts of like, I need to shut this down?
Oh, I think that I have had doubts about shutting it down multiple times, and I think anyone who tells you as an entrepreneur that they haven't had doubts is a fucking liar.
I totally agree with that.
Like, there's no way. And if you are that arrogant to say that I've never had a struggle, I've never thought about closing the doors, I've never cried myself to sleep, my bank account's been zero, you're a liar.
Yes.
You're a liar. Because we put our heart and soul into it and our money into it, right? I think that the time that it was almost a breaking point for me, I had a mentor that she was like, why? Why do you feel this way? And I'm like, because no one's calling, blah, blah, blah. Well, no one was calling because I was pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah.
I was using the right hashtags, and I was getting seen in like the algorithm, but I wasn't showing up for my people.
You weren't being authentically you.
I wasn't. And so the last trip to Colorado before Unfiltered, I found myself.
Yeah, I would have to say you come to one, and just like owning all of the stuff that you're doing, you have touched a lot of different salons and just trying to grow as any entrepreneur would, and it is hard. So all of our entrepreneurs that we have that come across this podcast or want to start a business, it's not easy, but if you have clarity and if you're looking for somewhere to give you some guidance, you're a stylist, you have an option right here.
Absolutely, I'd love to have you. I think that finding your people, but also making your circle smaller while you're growing.
Yes.
And that sounds silly and contradictory, but it's really important that you cut out all the noise.
I like that. The noise can be a huge factor, and when you hear someone say, oh, you're not good enough, or you're not doing, I'm sorry, what?
What makes you think that that's going to work?
Yes, I love that one.
I hate it.
Why would you give everything to that? Why would you go all in? Because I believe in it.
Or I've heard also, oh, I tried that. Did you try it for 2 days, or did you try it for 10 years?
Right.
We're going on 9 years with IHW in March. Okay. March 17th is 9 years for us.
Awesome. How many people have you been able to help over this time? Do you have a number? Or?
Oh my gosh! I cannot give you a number. I know that we have people that call us one time, and I'm not for them, and I'm not for them because I don't hold hands.
Yeah.
I don't hold hands. If you call me and you say, I want this outcome, what are you willing to sacrifice to get it?
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to sacrifice, oh, I have kids, I have a husband, I have this, I have that.
It's excuses.
It's excuses, but it's also, maybe it's not your right time. Call me back in 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Because you can't help somebody that doesn't want it.
Yeah. I will tell you that we have hundreds of stylists that have repeatedly attended.
Yeah.
Or calling or things like that. Gosh, we have lots of people though that are one and done, and that's okay too, because
that is really
it makes room for the other people.
Yeah, and you don't want to help somebody that's going to bring down, like the cancer is what we would call it.
Absolutely.
We don't want
Well,
that.
You're not helping them, because sometimes, I just shared this on a call this morning, was I had a salon owner reach out years ago, and they paid a substantial amount of money. They answered the call twice.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. And so to me, I was like, what did I do? What about me makes them not want to answer the call? What did I do? What can I do?
Yeah.
How can I get them back? And then I was like, no, this isn't me, this is them.
Yeah.
They wanted to say that they paid this money and that they work with so-and-so, but they didn't want to do the work.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work that way. I think that's also in my industry with fitness is, people don't want to be scammed.
Yeah.
Which I don't either, but I have had experiences with business coaches where I'm like, all right, that's really fun.
That's what I got.
That's what I got. That's what you do, and you showcase that you do all this stuff, but you're just talk. I think that's where you really do need to do your work when you're deciding who is a fit for you, and not just making like they talked about this, so that's it.
Yeah.
I spent a long time deciding if this was my person to work with, because it needed to mesh well.
It needs to feel.
Yes.
You have to feel it.
I need to be seen too for what I'm doing, and that I'm validated on our calls. It's not just, yeah. And I've had coaches like that where it didn't really help me.
It didn't help me. And I think that for hairstylists, we're used to coaches that are one size fits all, and I'm not like that. So there are classes that we have for everybody, and then we have customizing of those classes for other people. If they're like, yeah, that doesn't really fit me, okay, well, tell me what does. Tell me what your goals are, what are the struggles, and then we can read between the lines and say, okay, this is the path for you.
Yeah, I like that there's options, and it's not just a one size fits all, which there's some areas that you're niching down.
Yeah.
When we look at community, how do you protect the culture that you have built, especially as it grows? Like, do we have to make cuts or boundaries? Very carefully. We don't want to be mean, but we also want to protect what we built.
I think that there is some strength in being mean. And when I say that, I mean what other people think that meanness is, right? But for us, for me, it's a boundary. When I say no, I mean no. I'm not like, oh, well, maybe. Yeah, I don't do that
Beat
shit.
around the bush?
I don't do that stuff anymore. Now, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
I love that.
And I think that the cuts that I've had to make have been inside my own growth. And I won't ever say that someone made me do this or someone made me do that, but there has been an instance where we wanted to hire someone and it wasn't a great fit, and immediately within 24, 48 hours we're able to say this isn't going to be a good fit.
Yeah.
And being okay with that, standing firm in it, but also not having any bad will towards that person, because just because we're not a good fit doesn't mean that you're a bad person or I'm a bad person. It's not it.
It doesn't fit, and that's why you can go to another community where
Absolutely.
you can all have the same views and you don't feel like you have to shrink to fit in.
Yeah.
And
also,
have honest conversations.
I want to say that if you build it, it's your baby.
Yeah.
You get to decide what it looks like, what it feels like, what it will be forever. And we have to stand in that, because otherwise we're going backwards.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And there's clients that I look back and I'm like, why did I do that? Oh, it's because I wanted to feel like I can help them. But then I look later down the road, I'm like, that really was not the mesh. And you can see it when they're not showing up or they're kind of pushed back. I'm like, no. And I think that's really hard to do, but that's also knowing your worth.
Absolutely. I think that some people you also see so much potential in, and you're like, oh my God, I want to work with them. And so you will take any kind of morsel of attention that they'll give you, and it's no different than an intimate relationship, right? That they'll give you a little bit, they'll string you along, and you're just like, okay.
Yep.
It's no different in entrepreneurial.
Yeah, no, agreed. That actually brings me into my next question. What responsibilities come with leadership that most people don't know about? Because, I know you, Angie, and you sometimes will say, like, I don't mean to bother, but I'm, like, texting that, I do the same thing. But to be clear, we're doing a lot of stuff at the wee hours of the night, where most people think, oh, she's just posting on social media today.
No, girl.
So what does it look like?
So leadership for me means showing up as your true, authentic, unfiltered, unapologetic self. Because how can you lead someone into that same path if you're not showing up as that person?
Yeah, they can't follow what you're talking about if your actions don't align with that too.
Absolutely. I think that I love to be in bed at 7:30. Not asleep, but in bed.
Yes, I know. You told us I gotta get home to a book.
I have a book to read, okay?
Yeah.
So, and I know people are like, oh my God, she's such an old lady. I don't care. That's where my peace is at now.
Yes.
Is my bed. And I'm okay with that, because for years, I can't even tell you if I slept in a bed. Like, I don't remember going home. I don't remember sleeping or eating or engaging with myself.
Right.
I don't remember taking showers. Now, and not that I didn't, because I did take showers.
Yes,
but I'm just saying, I don't remember those things because I was just so on the go. And now, my bed, my house is my peace.
Yes.
And I love it. But those 11 p.m. calls or text messages, it's because I'm also perimenopause. So if I don't get it out,
it's not going to be
she
there.
gone.
I do them too. And Holly came home last night, and I'm sitting there, 11 o'clock at night, writing some stuff, or had an idea. I'm like, I gotta get this out. Or do you have one of these moments where your phone is sitting there and you roll over and you decide to put it in your notes, and you wake up, you're like, what the fuck was that?
My note section is ridiculous. But I'm also a Post-it note girl, so in my office it's like Post-it notes.
Yeah. And they're color. And you did have that on our photo shoot.
Yep.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. So they're color coordinated depending on like urgency.
I like that. That's really good. Because sometimes I just stick them everywhere.
Yeah, no. There has to be intention with it.
And that is where I think intentional just goes really nice together.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah. What does healthy leadership look like to you now?
Community, connection.
Every day.
Every day. Touching people every day.
That's so good. I'm excited for what it's going to look like later on down the road, as we were talking about Unfiltered. But 5 years, where do you see yourself? Because I know we briefly touched it off camera.
Yeah.
Of where you want to be. Is that what it's looking like now?
I think that 5 years from now, I would love to be retired from hair. I've had a beautiful run, and I love my guests. But in 5 years, I'll be 50.
Yeah.
Girl, we gotta go.
We gotta get out of that.
But I also see us being unfiltered quarterly. Because I believe that healing is a continuous journey. You're never done with it. And so by reconnecting with your community every quarter and saying, I need to check in, I need to touch base, I need to ground, I need to release, that is really important to me. So I see us going from mountain to ocean quarterly, just to let it go.
And I think a lot of people need rest, and that is a getaway.
Absolutely.
Getaway. So that's why we're transitioning into Unfiltered. So is that why this became a thing, that you know that you do need a break and you do need to heal? Is that where it came from?
I don't know that I knew about the break.
Okay. Because
I was just like let's go. But it was because I was on my own healing journey, and the mountains always speaks to me. It always tells me that there's something bigger than you, and that you need to just quiet.
I remember the exercise that we did. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what it was, but I do remember I was facing the opposite way, and I was like sobbing my eyes out. And guys, I don't cry. I didn't, and now I'm a vulnerable person, finally, because I love myself and I don't see it as a weakness. It's power.
Yes.
But I remember doing that exercise, and there was something about that just the first day on the mountain, and you talking about what you talked about. Again, I'm not going to tell you guys what that is, but it just, I was like, a huge relief.
Yeah.
And that my life is changing, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's really scary when you don't know, but again, why this event, Unfiltered, is so important.
Yeah.
And I think as we look at it, what can someone expect when it comes to the atmosphere, like when somebody walks into Unfiltered?
I think that your nerves are going to be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to expect, right? You don't know these people. You are just blindly trusting them, right? And you might know Kaz, you might know me, you might know the other speaker, Jen, but you don't know what we're going to have.
Yeah.
And I think that's really scary, but just being surrounded by the mountains and those elk.
Oh my God, they're just running across the road. When you had sent me the picture, and then now we're seeing it leading up to this one, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, do you remember?
I went out for a run.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I gotta be on edge, because
like he was right there with you.
Yes.
It was crazy. But I think seeing that there are bigger things out there than you, that's powerful also, because it allows you to kind of come back to your zone.
Yeah.
And be like, I can do this. Yeah. But you can also expect to be safe.
Yeah. Guys, being a part of the community, Angie is not, but I have never felt more safe in a space where I am around straight women, and most of them were stylists at that event. We only had like 2 that were not.
Yeah. 3.
I was able to talk about things that I never told anybody until that event, and that was like a surreal moment for me, where I was like, oh my God, I just said this out loud.
Did you know you were going to say that?
No.
Yeah, that's what Unfiltered is.
Like, I was able to, because I felt the presence of, I'm safe here. And I think for people of my community, I want you to come to this event of what Angie has built, because it is like life-changing, it is heartfelt, it is all of the things in one. And I will tell you, I struggled for about 2 weeks.
Afterwards?
Yes. Because I was emotionally exhausted.
Yeah.
And that was way more difficult than physical exhaustion. And I think that's where we
Say
tend
that
to...
louder, please.
Physical exhaustion, I was a lot more exhausted in that side. But I think that's why people avoid it.
Absolutely.
You don't want to feel it. You don't want to go through it. The roller coaster is what I call it. And I was on a roller coaster. And I had saw you after it. And then now I've just blossomed even more so.
Yeah. You have to feel it to heal it.
Oh, that's so good. Put them on sticker.
Girl. Feel it to heal it. So I think that we avoid the emotional hangover for too long because one, we don't want to talk about it. Nobody else cares about it. What is, it's so shameful. You know, whatever it is that you're healing from or through, I don't think we ever get over it. And I'm so freaking sick of people saying, get over it. Just get over it. It was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
It does not matter.
The thing I talked about was 35 years ago. And it still had that much of an impact that I shared it with strangers on the mountain.
Yeah.
You know?
You cannot let it keep pushing down more and more.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't
It
matter.
will bubble.
Exactly. And it might come out in situations where you're like, oh,
I
or
did
someone
not mean
triggers
to-
you.
Yes.
And
Ooh, girl. Just wait for Saturday.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay, well, Saturday, what is that?
Saturday in Estes.
Okay, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
What are we talking about this Saturday?
I can't tell you.
Saturday. Can you
It's a
drop
secret.
the dates for us on
It
this?
is May 28th through June 6th.
Okay.
So Thursday night is our welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you what we're doing, but it's a welcome event. And then Friday we go in. That's my favorite day.
I really do like that one.
Yeah. And then Saturday we have more of a classroom setting where I think that we can dive a little deeper because we're not enthralled with the beauty that's around us.
Right.
Right? And then Sunday is also a really freaking great day.
Yeah, Sunday gives you a little bit more freedom to see what it's all about over there.
Yeah. And to connect.
And to connect, but definitely gotta make sure we bring the food. Because that is something that I was like,
Oh my gosh, wait till you see the swag bags.
so good.
I can't tell you.
I can't. I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
What would someone expect or feel? What do you want them to feel in those first 10 minutes when they? Let's just say day one on.
Thursday or
No, let's say Saturday. When we go to Saturday, because that's I think the really big opening.
Yeah.
So what do you want them to feel in that moment when we arrive to? Don't say it. Like,
Okay, so I like to tell people, and this is kind of like a behind the scenes kind of conversation right now. So this is, you guys aren't here, it's just us. Okay, I like to think of it as peeling the onion back.
Mm-hmm.
So we, on Thursday when we come, we are a whole onion.
Right.
Thursday night, we kind of peel a little bit back, right?
Mm-hmm.
The little flimsy part of it's yellow or white, red, whatever.
Yes.
And then Friday, we're like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Saturday, boom.
Yeah, Saturday.
We're raw.
I did do a video of that, and I'll have to repost it on social media. But I wanted to make a video after each one, but I will tell you, emotionally exhausted, and that was in that video. But
Yeah.
it's something that you have to be ready for.
Yeah,
Personally.
and if you're not ready for it, you're going to be like, this was a waste.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really encourage people, if they're not ready, do not come.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will not get it, you won't feel it, but you also might hinder someone else's growth.
Yes,
Because you're
absolutely.
sitting
You can
here-
feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it. You're feeding off negative energy, and we don't want
Yeah,
negativity.
definitely. And I will tell you though that our 2027 dates will go live while we are in Estes Park. So if you're not ready, we get it. We'll be ready for you at the top of the mountain when you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it more high energy, intimate, grounding, or a mix?
I think it's a really good mix. I would say that our last day on Sunday is really high energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. But I think the other two are kind of like a dance, you know, where you're just like, let's say you're at a middle school dance and you're like, the girls are separated, the boys
Yep.
are separated, right?
Yep.
And then on Saturday night when you're at the skating rink, you're like, doo-doo-doo-doo. I don't know if you guys went skating, but I did.
I did.
So, you know, it's kind of like that. So Thursday night is the middle school dance. Friday is more of the skating rink. And then on Sunday, is more like your pool party.
I love the Sunday.
Yeah.
And just again to experience everything that's out there.
Man, there's so much.
There is, and the views are amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of draws me to it even more of like just taking it all in.
Yeah. Did you hear the elk? What do they call it? They were kind of singing or talking or whatever.
I don't think I did.
I don't know what it's called, but my friend that came with me, she was like, "What is that noise?" So we had to Google it. We like Shazammed it.
That's awesome. No, I didn't. I'll have to look through that, what you guys have there.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. When we look at vulnerability, do you think it's something that is scared to showcase? Is it something that's going to be coming out in this event?
Absolutely. I feel like, and not to be like rude or offensive, but I think it's everyone's coming out party at Unfiltered.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there.
Yeah.
It is, because vulnerability has never been taught, right? And that's why we have sheltered ourselves and not showing who we are.
Absolutely.
So I don't take that personal. And she's not saying that anyway, guys. It's just vulnerability.
We are.
You're unleashing who you really are.
Absolutely. We are coming out of our shells. We're coming out of shadows. I initially, when we first did the launch of Unfiltered 2 years ago now, when we said we're going to do it, I was like, I want people to unpack the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think that
And leave it there.
I mean, because it's the best place to leave it.
Mm-hmm.
You can come back and visit it.
Yeah,
it'll be there.
You can reopen that door.
You can if you want to. But I think that it really is a coming out of energy, emotions, and just when we saw people leave on Monday morning and they were lighter, happier, no one wanted to leave.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Actually, one of my friends, she was like, we were sharing a room and she texted me, she's like, are you coming back? And I'm like, I don't know. Because every morning I went to the coffee shop, Kind Coffee. We'll give them a shout out because I love them.
Yeah.
Their location is amazing. They have right on the backside of the river. And so every morning I'd go get my hot chocolate because I don't drink coffee and sit up the river for like 30, 45 minutes before the day started. She was like, are you coming? Because I'd been gone like 2 hours.
Oh.
I was like, I don't want to go home.
Yeah, I really like that setup because I did the same thing. I got up and went for a run. That's actually when I was running, but I didn't really advertise it as much as I do now. But yeah, it's taking all the scenery for sure.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. I think that the hotel that we stay at also is great because the location allows you to see into the city.
I like it a lot.
Into the town. But also being right on that golf course and seeing all those elk just roam.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
And we have a pond that looks right out into it too. We had a rainbow. I was like, hey.
Oh my gosh, we did. Yeah. Man,
it was such good times.
I know, I'm like, take me back. We are 93 days away.
Love that. We're getting closer. And how many tickets do we have left?
We have 3 tickets left.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, 3.
Well, there we go. You need to make sure you get in it.
Yeah.
When we look at vulnerability, is there going to be certain things that are going to have more, you think, of vulnerability coming out?
I think that's individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I just wanted to see your take on it.
Yeah, I think that because we're all at different levels, or sometimes it is easier, I think, to share with strangers as long as the group is small enough.
Yeah.
Which is why Unfiltered will only ever have 20 people.
Yeah.
That's it.
That that one cannot be big.
It can't, because you cannot touch people. You're afraid to share. What will they think? Even though you know you're going there to not judge and be in a judgment-free zone, there's a
lot of minds.
Exactly. And you don't know what other people are thinking, but we hope that people that come are not in a judgment mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I have 2 more questions for you as we get ready to close out. How is this event that Unfiltered different from the other ones that you put on?
So I don't like to say it's my favorite, but it really is my favorite.
I know it's your favorite.
I think everyone knows it's my favorite,
I think so too.
Because it's allowed me to become.
Yeah, it's let you grow into who you always wanted to be.
Absolutely. And I feel so free. So I will share with you. Last night I'm laying in bed, 7:30 at night, and
I'm reading the book.
I was not reading the book. I was watching Survivor. So there's that. Okay. I think I could probably win. But anyway, and I just felt so free, and it was because of allowing myself to open up and be vulnerable around people that I knew was safe.
Yeah.
Because I have curated this. This is mine.
It's your baby.
It's my baby, and bringing on people that I feel like are in the same mindset, heart set, I'm free.
Yeah, and that event creates that for sure.
Yeah.
Do you, and we've already asked this question or talked about it briefly, but I want to ask you again. Do you think that this event you have to mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the things be ready?
No. I think you can, you know that you want this. You know that you have a goal of being free from whatever is holding you back, from the ties, from the restraints, from the chains, whatever, however you want to say it. What you do have to be is have an open mind.
Yeah, that is key. And if you're not, then...
And I think every event that you go to, whether it's with us or with someone else, is going to show something else.
Yeah.
Something else might show up that you didn't know are you ready? You didn't know you needed to heal from.
Mm-hmm.
You think that you have to heal from Fred saying blah, 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 when really, why did Fred's opinion or voice bother you?
Yeah.
That's what you have to get to. That's what you have to heal from.
Yeah, and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and that's exactly what Unfiltered is, where it's like it hits you and you're like, oh, that's why that bothered me so much.
Absolutely.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, so our good friend, Judy James, she shares that there's 7 levels of that why.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, you got to go back to that toddler stage and be like, why?
Yep. Yeah, and Judy made a huge impact on me with just like her piece of paper, the why. I still carry it in my backpack to this day, so thank you, Judy. Because we also, put that inside the coaching program I built.
I love that.
And that's one thing that I plan to use more and more with people as a free resource inside of our school platform.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure, guys, that you know where to find Angie Williams. She is on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Are they all the same?
All the same handle. And Pinterest, if you want to see how I'm going to build a house someday.
Okay, so what are your handles so we can find you? But I also repost you, but I want to make sure no one does.
Intentional Hairdresser Workshop.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Yes. We're really glad that you said yes to being on our podcast, as you're one of our first, I shouldn't say first allies, but first ally business.
Okay.
And talking about Unfiltered. And we'll probably be having her back because there's more to come with what Intentional Hairdresser does. But as always, make sure you subscribe, pull up a seat, and let's grow together.
Let's go.